Friends, imagine a place on Earth that sounds like it should be full of lush greenery, forests, and life. A place called Greenland. But the reality? It's almost the complete opposite. Despite its name, Greenland is not green at all. In fact, it is one of the most ice-covered and extreme environments on the planet. Nearly the entire landmass is buried under a massive sheet of ice. For centuries, it has remained largely untouched, ignored, and dismissed by the world. And yet, today, that same frozen land is becoming one of the most important and contested places on Earth. Why? Why is a land covered in ice suddenly attracting the attention of global superpowers like the United States? What could possibly be hidden beneath all that ice that makes it more valuable than entire national economies? Let's dive deep into this mystery. Where is Greenland, and why has it been ignored? Greenland is located in the Arctic region, sitting between North America and Europe. It lies northeast of Canada and is geographically part of North America, but politically it belongs to a small European country, Denmark. Now, that itself is surprising. How can a relatively small country like Denmark control an island that is about 50 times larger than itself? The answer is simple: population. Despite its massive size, Greenland has a population of only about 56,000 people, and most of them live in just a few coastal towns, especially in the capital city, Nuuk. For centuries, humans have avoided settling here, and for good reason. The harsh reality of life in Greenland. Greenland is one of the harshest environments on Earth. Nearly 80% of its surface is covered in ice, and much of the island lies within or near the Arctic Circle. This means extremely low temperatures, long dark winters with little to no sunlight, limited food production, harsh living conditions. In winter, temperatures can drop to around -9 degrees Celsius, 15 degrees Fahrenheit on average, and even lower in many regions. So how do people survive here? The answer lies in ocean currents. A warm ocean current, known as the Gulf Stream, helps moderate temperatures along parts of Greenland's southern coast. Because of this, most cities and human settlements are located along the western and southwestern coasts. Even then, life is far from easy. The turning point: climate change. Now here's where things begin to change. The biggest factor transforming Greenland today is global warming. As temperatures rise across the planet, Greenland's ice is melting, and it's happening faster than scientists once predicted. According to research, Greenland has been losing hundreds of billions of tons of ice every year. Back in 2006, studies suggested that glaciers were melting at a rate of about 249 cubic kilometers per year. And since then, that rate has increased significantly. Even more concerning, the Arctic region is warming about 2.5 times faster than the global average. This means Greenland's ice is melting at an accelerated pace, especially in the northern regions. At first glance, melting ice might not seem like a big deal, but the consequences are massive. If Greenland's ice sheet were to melt completely, it would raise global sea levels by approximately 7 meters. That's over 23 feet. Think about what that means. Entire cities would disappear underwater. Miami, New York, San Francisco, Venice, Shanghai, Tokyo, Mumbai, Kolkata, and even entire countries like the Maldives. This isn't science fiction. It's a real possibility over long timescales. Even a partial melt could raise sea levels by 30 centimeters or more by the end of this century, affecting hundreds of millions of people worldwide. A paradox: disaster and opportunity. Here's the strange part. While melting ice is a global disaster, it's also creating opportunities. As the ice melts, it's revealing something hidden beneath for millions of years. Something incredibly valuable. What lies beneath the ice? Under Greenland's thick ice sheet lies a world that scientists are only beginning to understand. In 2013, researchers used advanced radar technology to create a three-dimensional map of the land beneath the ice. What they found was astonishing. A massive canyon, over 750 kilometers long, 800 meters deep, and up to 10 kilometers wide. It's now considered one of the largest hidden canyons on Earth. There are also ancient lakes buried beneath kilometers of ice, and even evidence of meteor impacts from millions of years ago. But that's not all. Scientists have discovered preserved plant fossils deep under the ice, proof that Greenland was once a green forested land with rivers and ecosystems. Yes, Greenland wasn't always frozen. A green past and possibly a green future. Millions of years ago, Greenland lived up to its name. It was covered in forests, vegetation, and flowing rivers. And as the ice continues to melt, some experts believe parts of Greenland could eventually return to a greener state. But that's not what's attracting global powers. The real interest lies deeper. The real treasure, natural resources. Beneath Greenland's ice lies a massive reserve of natural resources. Oil, natural gas, rare earth elements, uranium, precious metals. According to estimates, Greenland may hold around 13% of the world's undiscovered oil reserves, nearly 30% of untapped natural gas resources, and perhaps most importantly, rare earth elements. Why rare earth elements matter? Rare earth elements are essential for modern technology. They are used in smartphones, electric vehicles, wind turbines, computers, military equipment, aircraft systems. Right now, China controls about 85% of the global supply of these materials. This gives China enormous economic and strategic power. But if Greenland's reserves are developed, that balance could change. Why the world is interested. This is why countries like the United States and European nations are showing growing interest in Greenland. It's not just about resources, it's also about strategy. Greenland's location makes it a key point between North America, Europe, and the Arctic. As Arctic ice melts, new shipping routes are opening, making Greenland even more valuable. Interest in Greenland. At one point, the United States even proposed buying Greenland from Denmark. Yes, buying an entire island. Denmark refused. But the fact that such an offer was made shows just how important Greenland has become. The big question. So now we face a critical question. Is Greenland a future opportunity or a global risk? On one hand, it offers massive natural resources, economic potential, technological independence. On the other hand, environmental destruction, rising sea levels, global climate instability. Conclusion. Greenland is no longer just a frozen, forgotten land. It has become one of the most strategically important regions on Earth. What happens here in the coming decades could reshape global politics, economic power, environmental stability. The ice is melting, the world is watching, and the race has already begun. Outro. So what do you think? Should the world develop Greenland's resources, or protect it for the sake of the planet? Let us know your thoughts. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep, thought-provoking content.